let me pull this together and ask the last part, how do we go forward to reimagining Singapore? Singapore's history, I think you all know this, is rich with examples of change, both external and internal, and that has necessitated a response from us. And we have responded. Sometimes we've been a bit more conservative, on other occasions we've been quite entrepreneurial, and in more recent times, we've had to move ahead of the curve, be quite visionary because the challenges that have come our way become more complex, and we don't really have any international precedents that we can take a dressing from on that front. So going forward, we will certainly face even more and difficult challenges. So let me ask you a final question. In your opinion, which of these will have the greatest impact for Singapore? The economic rise of Asia, especially China and India, energy, climate change, environmental impact, aging population and demographic trends, urbanization and social cohesion. It's very interesting. This is probably the one set of questions where there's quite a distributed set of answers with some emphasis on aging population and demographic trends. But I wanted to talk about these because each of these presents a very different kind of challenge for Singapore. And they also present opportunities. Rise of Asia with China and India, there's competition, but there's opportunity. When you think about the energy, climate change and environment, largely an external force in some ways, because Singapore is a small player, but we too can do our part, but it will come at a cost. When you talk about aging population and other demographic trends, I think that's a very interesting observation that many of you have made, and quite a number of you think that's the most important. And indeed, how are we going to deal with this as a society, as the number amongst us who are older increases in proportionate and absolute terms? And urbanization and social cohesion. More cities and larger cities are being formed, and as cities concentrate, there tend to be greater tensions because inequalities are there. And how do you preserve the social cohesion and look after those who may fall between the cracks? So it's very good to see this range of responses, and what it means is you're going to have a very engaging discussion in your different groups. And indeed, this is also what we want for Singapore. We all want the best for Singapore, but we have different perspectives because we come from different backgrounds and experiences, and our attitudes and attitude to life vary. As citizens, I think we ought to build on our C-suite of capabilities, engage in a vibrant dialogue on what should constitute Singapore's priorities for the future, but always respecting each other's views and being rational in our debates. And importantly, once we have decided on a path, find a way to rally, consolidate, and make it happen. So ultimately, when we reimagine Singapore, it must be a vision that speaks to your heart. Do you feel proud of your country? Does your country, what it stands for, resonate with you? And do you feel a sense of ownership that is a place which I'm really happy to be associated with? It has opportunities and it fulfills my aspirations. This is the crux of it. And it will mean different things to different people. And we have to find a common narrative that will bring it all together. So I was inspired by the image logo for this conference, and it's water motive, which is most apt, I think. I think it was described earlier by the MC. I think it's worth thinking about, because water is one of our major challenges, and a resource challenge that we all acknowledge globally. Water, or more specifically new water, is also emblematic of our ability to be visionary in the way we respond, to be able to overcome the limitations and go beyond them. Water also depicts how a reimagined Singapore will continue to adapt and move forward as one body in the face of myriad obstacles and challenges. Ultimately, we only have our collective will and abilities to shape our future as best as we can. So I hope all of you will use this opportunity to think about it and apply yourselves, because I know there's a lot of ideas and talent in this room. And I hope you will create a very vibrant notion of what Reimagined Singapore can be about. I want to wish all of you a very engaging, inspiring and memorable time.